Last week my mom passed away, and I'll be honest, I still can't come to terms with it. I still feel like every time I say it, I'm lying. Like, oh, well, she'll be back next week. Gosh, you know, she's just on a trip. She'll be back. I'll go into her room before I go to bed, and I'll look for her to say goodnight to her, and wake up and look at her chair where she would sit in and see if she's there. And there's a big part of me that hopes that never stops. This is probably the worst thing and the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with so far. I don't know if I'll ever really be the same. She was my best friend, and I would come home and I would be so happy to see her, and I would lock the door whenever I'd leave so nobody could come and like bother her or anything. She was just so precious to me and so important to me.
Why don't you tell us a random fact about your Warcraft experiences for our little film here?
My Warcraft experiences began with the extreme generosity of my son Zachariah,
That's me.
who allowed me to play his game.
This
For
account.
endless hours, actually.
Truly endless.
It was sacrificial, and I was very impressed.
My parents are divorced, and I lived with my mom. So I spent so much time with her and with only her. For the past 10 years, I've taken care of her. I've been, in a way, a caretaker for her. Towards the very end, I was just doing everything. I would wake up in the morning, I would cook dinner for her, so I cook breakfast for her, and then go back to sleep, and then wake up and make sure that she's okay. And I could only sleep for maybe 2 hours a night whenever this was happening, and because I couldn't bear to not be there and help her and take care of her. And ironically, it's her having this health scare was the reason why I started making YouTube videos, because I had to quit going to school. I would wake up like every 2 hours or so with like a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my name. And I remember she would like beg, like she was like on the ground like crying, begging me not to call an ambulance.
You know, we grew up really poor, so like actually seeking medical help is not necessarily the first line of defense. It's usually to sleep it off or to wait and see. And that's just usually what you do if you don't have the money.
The house is fucking, you know, we can barely pay for the house. We're worried about getting evicted from the house. Back then, we didn't have the money to hire a caretaker or a nurse or anything. We didn't even have the money to have hot water. We didn't have heat. And so, you know, I would go to sleep and like the house would be so cold because I would just give her the heater. And I always viewed it as like, you know, oh, I'm sleeping out on Mount Everest, right? It's like, you know, I'm cosplaying as Bear Grylls. And I remember like my glass of water in my room, there would have like ice crystals on the edge of it, right? Because of how fucking cold it was. Because I want to make one thing very clear, is that I did every single thing like that with no regret, no resentment, nothing. I would do that again. I'd be doing that right now if she was still in that house. And I'll always wonder if it was like my fault in a way, because I would buy cigarettes for her. Is it my fault in a way that she is where she is, and what happened because I bought the cigarettes for her?
And I buy these things for her, right? I buy these with money I make from my stream, and I do it with a smile on my face. I want to do this for her, but like I don't know, like I don't know if I'm like enabling this.
How could I say no? I mean, she was so old, it was hard for her to do anything. This is one of the only things that she could do to make herself happy.
Just telling her stop doing that is like telling me to stop drinking soda. It's very hard to do.
But there's still another part of my brain that does feel guilt, and I don't know if that was the right decision or not. Can you really protect a person from himself? It's impossible. And I did try. I failed, no. And smoking for 50 years gives you something called COPD. And my mom got COPD quite a while ago. And over the years, it's just gotten worse. That's the way the disease works. I would wake up like every 2 hours or so with like a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my name. And this went on for maybe like 6 months to a year. I was only able to sleep probably 2 hours a night before I would wake up and have like a panic attack until I had to go out and check to make sure that she was okay. It's probably one of the scariest experiences I've ever had in my life. I don't think I'll ever forget it. So I turned off my stream, and I went to lay down. I talked to her a little bit. I went to lay down, and I heard like a really loud crash, and I looked up, and there were a bunch of lights all in her room. Just out of nowhere, I hear a crash. I hear glass breaking. I look up and I see like lights. So I go in, and the floor is on fire. Part of her is on fire. And also the thing that she had connected to her face with her oxygen machine was on fire because she was smoking with the oxygen machine on. And I don't know why you would do that. I don't understand it. I don't. Why do you do that? And there's part of me that's very angry at her. I'm very upset. It didn't have to be like this. There's no reason for it to have been like this. And anyway, there was a little oxygen tube was going to the tank, and so I was like, oh my god. So I'm like frantically trying to put this out before it reaches the machine and it blows up. And meanwhile, she's on the floor, like, she's just completely in shock, and she has no idea what's going on, really. And we had to call the ambulance, which then again, she was telling me, don't call the ambulance. And it's like, I see her there. She has burn wounds all over her face, and she can barely breathe. Obviously, like, I'm just completely freaking out. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I didn't know if she was going to live. The truth is that I held out hope that she would pull through this until the last day, man. The last fucking day. I was like, oh, things will turn around, things will get better. I'm not a religious person. I don't really know. And now I went to a church, into our old church to, pray for her and light a candle for her and everything. And I went there because I thought to myself, well, hey man, if there's a 1% chance that this could do something, like, I'll be there every day. Finally, it got down to the point where we either had to put her on a ventilator or we had to just make her as comfortable as possible. If we put her on a ventilator, we're just waiting for something else bad to happen. We're waiting on the next thing to happen. We had a lot of conversations about our quality of life, everything, and it was all just fucking grim, man. It was just fire and brimstone grim. And I just, it was the hardest decision I'd ever had to make.
And I feel like all of the fun firsts that I have are pretty much over with, and I'm just kind of I'm waiting for the bad first to happen. And it's like I really only have bad things to look forward to for the rest of my life, in a way. And that was brutal. Well, I mean, like, having to, like, feeling like you're gonna lose one of your parents, and then thinking to yourself, like, this is all I've ever known, and like, to know that it's not gonna last. And I feel like I can never have that back because it was the context of my life, It's like my parents were healthy. I didn't have to worry about a job. I didn't have to worry about a bunch of other weird bullshit. It was just me and the boys hanging out all the time, drawing dragons on a chalkboard, and, riding the bus home together, singing along to rap songs. And that was good. It really was good.
I was such a good boy, and we just would sit here in this house and play video games and hang out, and she'd make us like cupcakes, and we were just good boys. It was so fucking good, man. It was so fucking good.
So anyway.
Oh no, don't do it.
What?
I do not wish my old, fat, toothless face to be immortalized.
Bombay, the camera quality really isn't good enough to capture.
Stop it.
I'm not an emotional person, but instead of being filled with like grief, it's just filled me with so much emptiness. My mom, like, she wasn't just like a mom for me. Like Zach and Cody and Lowell and Cameron and Jeff and AJ and everybody else in my neighborhood, and in a way, you know, our little makeshift family. It was so hard to tell Cody and Zach, man, it really was. Oh man, it really was. Truth is that this is what happens to everybody, and now I guess it's my turn. She was the most genuine and pure-hearted and kind person that I've ever known. I've tried my best to remove myself from caring about other people as much as I can. It's been very hard for me to actually have any sort of feelings towards people when it seems like everybody that was important to me is fucking dying. So at a certain point, you just kind of get away from that. The more that I have, the more that I've cared about things, the more unhappy I've been as a person. It was always very scary for me to know that, like, you know, my mom would die one day, right? This was extremely scary. This was like the one thing that I didn't want to have happen. And in 2021, it did happen.
Is it more, like, I think I even said this last time I was on here, is it more terrifying to know that you are created just for this endless cycle of servitude towards some deity that you don't really fully comprehend? Or is it more terrifying that you're just a hyper-intelligent ape with no purpose in life who's going to die and cease to exist? It's like, which one of these realities is more terrifying? And you know, I think they're both pretty bad. Like, there aren't really as many good things to look forward to anymore. But it feels like it's coming to an end. It feels like it's like ending in a way.